Welcome to the country of vodka and St. Basil's Cathedral. This is the Russian Grand Prix here at the European Racing League. My name is Austin Smith and I welcome you to this race. We are in qualifying right now. We are with FPL It's in the Haas as he is trying to set his first lap time. Almost everyone out on the track. Only Reverd in the McLaren is yet in the pits. Everyone else out on track to set their lap times, and FPL It's will be the first one to do so. However, it seems like he's running into a little bit of traffic there. I didn't see what car it was. We just got a little shot of it, but hard to tell with all these camera angles. I think that was a Sauber, not 100% sure, but here we get the first lap time of 1:29.5, but that is immediately shattered by VSR Marquez with a 1:29.3. Hard to read, really, but it is, in fact, a 1:29.3. We get all the first laps in here, and it is important to note that a lot of drivers will opt for the harder tire distribution. So we have a couple of tire distributions here, balanced, softer and harder. As always with the softer distribution, you get 4 sets of hyper softs here. So that is the softest tire. With the balanced distribution, you get 3 sets of hyper softs and 1 set of the ultra soft, which is the medium compound tire here. The hyper soft in, well, it's pretty much white. You could call it, I don't know, pink, bright pink, but it's pretty much white. I mean, yeah, okay, on the wheels you can see that it looks pink, but if you look at it in the list of tires, it looks mostly white, interestingly enough. The Ultra Soft is in purple, so a lot darker. You will see that once that tire is being put to use, as, for example, Alper is on it right now. You will be able to see it is a lot darker on that tire compared to the Hypersoft. And then we've got the soft. So we are skipping the super soft compound tire once again, and we go straight on to the softs, which is the hardest compound here. So that will most likely be the race tire, and that's why I'm saying the harder distribution, which gives you that one soft set which the other two don't. That might be the way to go for drivers that want to maybe start inside the top 10 on the soft tire that lasts the longest, obviously. So that will definitely be something to watch out for. But I think, as we see a lot of drivers already qualifying on the Hypersoft to soft might be a strategy that is worth to look out for. I don't think Hypersoft to Ultrasoft is possible. It would surprise me, to say the least. But maybe someone is wild enough to make that work. But I think Hypersoft to soft is the fastest strategy here, a one-stop. That's why we will probably see another real qualifying session, as my usual colleague Owen Wyatt, who cannot be here tonight, likes to say. So we will see almost everyone qualifying on the Hypersoft, except for maybe some drivers opting to go for something less, as we have 11 minutes left, and Alper making his way to the finish line on the Ultra. So he's taking the little the slightly slower compound here, and I do get the I do get the call from 2 drivers, Verstappen RB33 from the F3, as well as Lakitu. Lakitu, aren't you supposed to drive right now? Oh, you're in the pits. Okay, that makes sense then. So Hypersoft to Ultrasoft is possible. Then it baffles me. Wait, hold on. What? My controls are stuck. Okay. That is interesting. Okay, it works again. That was weird. I couldn't go up from ILR Shadow. That was wild. But yeah, that makes it interesting why, for example, Matt has the softs chosen and fitted to the car, as well as Cliffy. I mean, obviously they will only use that compound to, you know, get familiar with the tire, get a couple laps in, just, you know, basically burn some time, really. That's what they do here. They're not shooting for any lap time or anything. So this is really just, you know, getting a little more familiar with the track, a little practice session inside the qualifying, really. But with 9.5 minutes left, we are getting closer and closer to that final, I would say the final 3 minutes, when everything comes crashing down and everyone's trying to set their fastest lap times, when the track is at its best condition. So Hypersoft to Ultrasoft will be the strategy, or the other way around, obviously, for drivers outside the top 10 who might want to go Ultra to Hyper to counter the strategy of the top drivers. And softs are only necessary, as Verstappen says, if a driver gets damage early on. So if you start on the Hypers, you get damage, front wing damage, lap 1, you go into the pits, then you can go on to the softs and probably end the race on those. So the softs are that durable that they probably last the whole race. Except for, obviously, lap 1. I mean, you have to use 2 different compounds. That is mandatory, so yeah. But we are getting into the last 8 minutes now, and while the fight for the championship is over, VGIA Michael has crowned himself the ERL Season 5 F1 champion. The battle for second is truly and well underway. AZR Leon is in second place with his win in Singapore, his first of the season, the 6th driver of the season to win a Grand Prix. He put himself in the prime position. He is 28 points ahead of T1000 Zach, who is looking to bounce back here after just getting 6 points in the last 2 races. And all those 6 came from the Singapore race. He did not score a single point in Italy. So he's going to have to make up some ground, as we are with IRLRT Cliffy right here, who, well, pretty much binned it, I would say. And by the way, for those of you wondering where is VGIA Michael and who is this Jim Michael guy in the Ferrari, in his Ferrari, well, that is VGIA Michael. He went through a little name change. He is Jim or JIM. I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced as Jim or JIM, but Michael, with the sneaky corner cut there, I don't know what to say about this one. And another one, okay. I mean, and another one, oh, alright. But he is currently in 4th place. I don't know what he's doing with all these corner cuts. And he's not the only one. Look at the Red Bull behind him. I think that is T1000 Zach doing the same thing. Oh my. Sneaky from both of them. Will we see another one here? No, because, oh, yep, we will see one from Zach, but not from Michael, because this is the final sector now. If you corner cut in the final sector, you invalidate your current and your next lap, so you don't want to do that. I think Zach is probably going to come into the pits, therefore, and it is exactly that way. He comes into the pits, but Michael doesn't. Michael going on to another lap on the Hypersoft, so he will take these tires out for another run. He already did a run on them and got himself a 129.8, which is good enough for 5th right now, as Cliffy, without a lap time, has retired from the session. That is early, and that puts him in a very tough spot. He will start pretty much from the end of the grid, given that Jake Attacks and Medium Pilot will probably set a lap time. They just need to set any lap time, and they will be in front of him. They can't invalidate their lap, though, or they will stay behind him. Everyone else that we see here without a lap time, Shadow, Lakitu, Ollie, they all will start ahead of Cliffy anyway. But, yeah, that is very, very tough for Cliffy here. He will have it all to do. At least 17 places to gain if he wants to win this. Probably 19. Jake Attacks and Medium Pilot are very, very patient right now. They are just waiting in the pits. And you see here some ERS management issues. Michael is running very low towards the end of the lap here. Now he goes back into overtake, but the first and second sectors take out a lot of your ERS as Michael puts his car into third position for now with a 129.4. He will, however, most likely go into the pits, get a new set of Hypersofts on, and have one final run. That is my estimation. As you can see, he cuts the corners once again. Isn't that beautiful? My goodness, Michael, didn't they teach you anything? Meanwhile, let's look at ILR Shadow here. He also corner cut, so he's on an outlap as well, it seems. Then we've got... Oh my, I can barely read that name. Kiski. Kiski, he seems new. I haven't seen him before, so the first race for Kiski... and indeed, it was his first race, or it is his first race here in ERL. And he does not cut the corners, so we know he is on at least somewhat of a lap. However, he's in low ERS mode, so he's not trying too hard. Oh no, he's on. Yeah, he's still on the outlap. Never mind. He is still on the outlap, as the indicator says in the on the left, just next to his name. Now he enters the final sector, and that disappears. Which means he can't cut a corner here, or he will get the next lap invalidated as well. As he prepares for his run. There is a yellow flag, or there was for a short amount of time, but that is gone already, thankfully. And you can see the calm before the storm. 2 minutes 50. We are inside the last 3 minutes. So we are at the point where... everyone is preparing for their final run. As Kiski takes himself through the first sector, the long left-hander here. This is a very, very challenging corner, or corners rather. 3 and 4 counts as 2, at least on my chart. Very, very challenging, this long left-hander around the old 2014 Olympic center, if you want to call it that, Olympic venue. And he has significantly slowed down as, hold on, I think, who put himself up there? Jake Atex puts himself up into 4th position with a very, very good lap time, 129.6. That's about as good as it gets. He will have one more run. He can take it slow here. Oh no, he retired from the session. I thought he could maybe go on to another run. But he decides to just retire straight up. And now everyone is out on track. Every single one, except Cliffy and Jake Attacks, obviously, who have retired. But everyone else, we've got 18 cars on track right now. It is busy out there. Traffic warning in Sochi at the Sochi Autodrome. As Lakitu gets 4th position right now. Will he go for another run? It looks like it. He stays in overtake. So he might try another run here. Kiski has retired from the session in P12, so he has free tire choice, but obviously not a good track position to start the race. I think we're going to have to take a look at T1000 Zach, but he is on no ERS. He's done. He's done, and he's in P9. Has to make way for his teammate now, and he cuts the corner. He will not be able to make it to the finish line in time to start another lap, so that is his qualifying over. He is challenging for 2nd place in the standings, and he is starting apparently in P9 or even worse, but AZR Leon is right behind him. in P10 right now, and he is in second place in the standings. So he's the one that Zach is chasing, and he needs to get a good lap time. But he has just started his lap. This is his final hot lap, and he needs to get a good one here. This shapes up to be a very exciting qualifying session, as Dutch Tricks has already finished his session. Medium Pilot gets into third place and therefore puts Leon out of the top 10. Now Leon has to decide, being in P11, is it even worth it to run this lap? He went a little wide there. He might have invalidated his lap time, in fact. And he does bin it there. Oh, yeah. And he has invalidated his lap time and retires from the session. And he parked himself in a very bad position there. That is dangerous. Oh my, that is not what you want to see if you're any other driver on a fast lap right now. A yellow flag in the middle sector. And that might ruin everyone's lap. Marquez is still in pole position for now. Kaleg, he avoided that whole shebang and he puts himself in fourth. Michael is still on a lap. I think he made it through that as well. Not 100% sure though. Comes through the final two turns. Two 90-degree right-handers. That was the first one. This is the second one. To the line and no improvement for Michael. Who is left? ILR Shadow puts himself in 13th, and then we've got Alper. He will be the final one. Can he improve, and how far? No, he cannot. And that is the qualifying over. Everyone is across the line or in the pits or has retired, and VSR Marquez takes the pole position, and he is looking to get himself a proper race result this time after 5 DNFs in a row. 6 races that he started where he didn't get a single point. 5 DNFs and 1 finish outside the points. Unfortunately, I can't see what position. It was either 11th, 12th, or 13th in Canada, but unfortunately I can't see what it was, as the qualifying does come to a close. And yes, Alper in 17th, but VSR Marquez is the pole sitter once again. I mean, it's not that he doesn't have the qualifying pace. He certainly does. It's that he makes mistakes in the race. However, Sochi might be the track for him. It might be the track for him, as it has very wide escape zones, and the walls are not that close. Let's just say that. But it's in second place, the German, followed by Medium Pilot in third, and Michael only in fourth. However, look down below. Zach in 12th, AZR Leon in 14th. These are the two drivers fighting for second place, together with Lakitu, 6th place, is looking very good for him. And Matt, didn't even see where he ended up as we move on to the race. So it's gonna be quite a few amount of laps. It's not going to be the 22 of Spa, I can promise you that, because Spa is the longest track. However, Sochi, the Russian Grand Prix, is the 4th longest track on the calendar, so definitely above average. Only Baku, Silverstone, and Spa are longer. Spa, the only track above 7 kilometers, Baku, the only other track above 6 kilometers, and then Silverstone only 43 meters longer than Sochi. So we will see a few amount of, or a little amount of laps, only 27, just like we will have in Japan next week, and just like we had, for example, in France. So only 27 laps. So it will be a rather short race. The track is pretty fast, not that many slow corners. The third sector is the slowest, as let's have VSR Marquez take us through a lap right here, the pole sitter. The first corner isn't really a corner, but it is a corner, but not really, but it is. Full speed, very, very dangerous though. If two drivers are next to each other there, it can get a little bit hairy. Then we are through turns 2 and 3. This is 3 and 4 here. Counts as 2 corners. A very long left-hander. Now a 90-degree right-hander turn 5. A lot of 90-degree corners in this, or on this track in general. Now we're heading to turn 6. Another 90-degree right-hander. Again, we got a lot of those. Now we get the little bend here. Turn 7, that goes full. And then you have to brake here into turn 8. That's not 90 degrees, but a similar speed. Turns 9 and 10, double left-hander, very tricky. You can easily cut the corner there, or extend it on the exit. Now turn 11, another 90-degree right-hander, and we go on to the back straight, which isn't again really a back straight, as this counts as turn 12, and the approach will count as turn 13. Right here, this left-hander counts as 13. And then you have to brake in turn 13 for 14. So a little bit tricky. 14, another 90-degree right-hander, 90-degree left-hander here. 15, very, very bendy on the exit though. Then 16, 17, a little chicane built in here. And now we get to the final 2 corners, and you guessed it, there are another 2 90-degree right-handers. Turn 18, right here, that is the pit entry on the right side, and then turn 19 as we come on to the start finish straight, and VSR Marquez will park his car in pole position to start this race. All the drivers making the way to the grid. ILRT Cliffy will be the last one to do so, as he starts from 20th place. A full grid here at the European Racing League for the Russian Grand Prix. Can we get a shot from the front instead of the back? Oh, here we go. As the lights go on, 5 lights on and out, and we are underway for the Russian Grand Prix, and it seems a very chaotic start in the midfield. Up front, it's already alongside Marquez, and he seems to have the lead. But Medium Pilot now in second, and even Michael is challenging him. Michael down the inside takes 3rd place from Medium Pilot. Very, very chaotic start. A lot of movements. No one stays in the position that they started in, except apparently for Ollie in P18. Everyone else is in a different position. I've never seen that before. That is remarkable. As it leads the field towards turn 7 now and 8 into the 2nd sector. And he has the lead. Great start from him. Marquez didn't get off the line as well as he hoped he would. And I think the loser of the start, or at least of the first lap, seems to be Matt. He lost all the way down from 9th to last. What happened there? He lost 11 positions. But he's still only 8 seconds behind the leader. That is not much. You can easily gain that over the course of 26 more laps to go. Then again, it's probably unlikely because he would have to fight through all that traffic. But let's take a look at the tires right now. So we have P1 through 6 all on the Hyper. 7, T1000 Zach, who started on who had free tire choice. He is the highest driver on Ultras. AZR Leon is shadowing him on the Ultras, as are Kiski, Ollie, Cliffy, and Alper. Everyone else on the Hyper. So we have 6 runners who go on a different strategy here than everyone else. As Matt and Kalek are already in the pits, and it seems like Kalek is stuck. What is going on here? It seems like Kalek has been hit by a bug. And, oh, no, wait. What happened there? Huh. That was wild, but they both did get new tires. They are both on the soft compound tire. They will go towards the end of the to the end of the race with that one. But very, very unlucky for both Kalik and Matt. Matt's still fighting for second place in the championship. Only 41 points behind Azier Leon. And only 13 points behind T1000 Zach, who is in third. So that is very much within reach, as it has already gained more than a 1 second gap. Marquez, on the other hand, also with almost a 1 second gap to Michael. So that is working out pretty well for the leading two right now. They need to get rid of everyone else behind him. The 1 second gap is what we have to monitor here. And let's switch it as the DRS, sorry, will be enabled. Let's switch it to interval here to see the differences between all the drivers. So we have almost a second, but Michael does get the DRS, and there is a 5 second stop and go penalty for ILRT Cliffy as he wanted to go into the pits. It seems like he was too late on the brakes, apparently. That's my guess, at least. We didn't see it, but my guess is he was too late on the brakes and overshot the pit entry, which got him a 5 second penalty, and then he went back into the pits. So he's going to have to serve that penalty now. That is definitely going to hurt him. And a 3 second penalty already for Zach for multiple corner cut warnings. That is something we definitely have to watch out for here, as it is very easy to cut and extend the track limits. It is very easy. I would not be surprised to see a disqualification here today. And even if not, I think we will probably only have 1 or 2 drivers who will keep it inside the track limits for enough times to not get a penalty, not get a single penalty. I think almost everyone will pick up at least 3 seconds. So it can be key here to stay penalty free, and we know who is pretty much the best to do it, as it must have made a mistake because Marquez has closed in on him by over a second so far this lap. But Michael also under supreme pressure here from Medium Pilot. They are going at it, and let's look, Marquez might be able to make a move. Gets the DRS here. This is the activation point. Needs the slipstream off it, and he gets it. He needs to take the outside, though. Does take it, gets the inside for the next turn. They bang wheels, and they're still side... No, they're not side by side. It retains the lead. And look at this pack. Michael attempting an overtake into turn 5, but that wasn't on the cards just yet. And now Michael has to defend from Medium Pilot. This is getting very, very scruffy. A lot of fighting here. Look at this. The top 6 in one shot. This is incredible. The top 6 still within 1 camera. So the top 5 just right next to each other, behind and in front of each other, as Itz has made a mistake and Marquez slips through in turns 9 and 10. Great move here from Marquez, but he will be under pressure now from Itz in the DRS zone. However, Itz is under pressure from Michael. Michael making the move on the outside. Now having the inside for turn 14, and he keeps the... Oh no, they're still side by side. Now he has the position, and there is a spin. Someone with Jacketex has spun, and there was some kind of front wing, and Jacketex bins it into the wall. Decides to end his race, and what a violent impact that was for Jacketex. So he is our second retirement after ILRT Cliffy. Very, very unfortunate. That was about as much of a rage quit as we've probably ever seen on the F1 game by ILRT. Not by ILRT Cliffy, by Jacketex right there. Very, very unfortunate to see. As we get a little corner cut here from Itz, who went down all the way to 4th position. Rafa, meanwhile, overtook Shadow to get 5th. And now there is a spin, and oh my god, it's into the wall. Into the wall. He is out of the race. We have a yellow flag, but we don't have a safety car, as everyone has to make their way past him now. It's out of the race for the Haas team. This is a very, very bad Grand Prix so far. It's out of the race. I do not want to judge whether ILR Shadow actually touched him or whether that was an issue of desync, but there was definitely... Oh no, sorry, not ILR Shadow. It was Rafa, if anyone. I don't want to judge if Rafa actually touched him or whether that was an issue of desync, but very unfortunate either way for FPL It's, who is now out of the race, but no safety car. Not even a virtual one. Not even a virtual one. That is very surprising, I have to say, as VSL Marquez still in the lead, and Janul picks up a 3-second penalty. Again, the penalties will come here as Michael is within that 1 second window. He will make a move maybe on Marquez into turn 2, which is the real first braking zone, and we could call it turn 1, but it is in fact turn 2, and he's not close enough to make the move just yet, but he is getting closer and closer. Rafa now with a 3-second time penalty. We will see that pop up quite a bit today. And I think there was someone else as well who popped up for a second there. Was not able to catch who that was, but another one with a 3-second penalty. And IRL Shadow into the pits now. I think he might have run into the back of Rafa in that whole incident with FPL It's. And look at Michael. He is staying close to VSR Marquez. The fight for the lead between probably the two fastest drivers in this league. Definitely on qualifying pace. Race pace, Michael obviously, as he makes the move down the around the outside, and now has the move completely done. Makes it stick before the braking zone. That is remarkable. And Michael now in the lead. He still hasn't enough. He has won 10 of the 15 races so far this season, and he wants another one. Is Marquez already going into the pits? That is early. Will he go on to the softs or will he go on to the ultras? That is the one question that remains. And not just him, Tao coming into the pits as well. He's speeding in the pit lane. 5 seconds stop and go penalty for Tao though. That is unfortunate. And yes, Marquez goes on to the ultra soft. So very early stop. Tries to get the undercut on Michael. It's going to be interesting to see what Michael does now. Tao goes onto the softs. And Reverd is also in the pits as Marquez rejoins in 12th position right now. 16 seconds behind the whole field. I mean, look at how close the field is together. Between P1 and P11, still 8.9 seconds. Less than 9 seconds between the leader and 11th place. Everyone else who hasn't stopped yet. That is remarkable. 9 seconds only. This is a very, very close race. The slipstream here is very strong. Let's go back up front. Medium Pilot and Michael still neck on neck. Or neck by neck? I'm sorry, I'm not a native speaker. English is my second language. So please apologize any misstated phrases. As Alper picks up a 3-second penalty. Now Medium Pilot in a very good position here. But he didn't get the exit out of the last corner. He didn't get the exit he wanted to. Now he has the DRS, but he already goes down to no ERS, so he's not even trying to overtake. He just wants to save ERS to then maybe attack somewhere where there isn't DRS, and therefore where Michael probably wouldn't expect it. That could be a smart move here as Dutch Tricks Technique Gaming and Lakitu make their way into the pits and get some fresh rubber onto their car. So we are now down to 8 runners who haven't pitted yet. So very early pit stops here. Lap 7 now, or at the end of lap 7 for these 3 drivers, Technique, Tao, and Lakitu, as Marquez has overtaken all of them by a significant margin. 5 seconds on Technique Gaming. Marquez might actually be a very, very smart driver with this strategy. That is incredible. He already cut the lead of Michael from 25 when he came out of the pits to 22. 3 seconds gain by Marquez. He's going to have a sizable lead when everyone comes in. And we have only 3 drivers who still need to come in right now. That is Michael, Medium Pilot, and Rafa. Everyone else is on the Ultra Soft and therefore goes longer anyway. And Medium Pilot with a little dummy here tries to follow Michael, gets a little slipstream off of it as well, and stays out. And Rafa has to stay out because he's in the Ferrari. And Michael is taking the pit stop now. Michael coming into the pits, taking on the Ultra Soft. No, he's taking on the Softs? Wait. Michael is going on to the Softs. That is surprising to say. Let's see what the tire wall shows. Yes, it is yellow. Ooh, he almost spins into the wall there on the pit exit. He goes on to the Softs. What is Michael thinking? Everyone in the chat told me, Verstappen and Lakita told me, Hypersoft to Ultrasoft is pretty easy, and now Michael's showing that he's going on to the Softs. Does he want an advantage? Maybe he wants an advantage over Marquez towards the end of the race, when Marquez's Ultrasofts should drop off, and the Softs of Michael should still be good. Maybe that's his thinking. I don't know. But Medium Pilot should be coming into the pits either now or next lap. Same for UX Rafa. These are the 2 drivers still on the Hypersoft who want to get rid of him. 9 laps into the sim. That's a third of the race. The Hypersoft can't take it much longer than that. And as you can see, Medium Pilot now in, and Rafa follows him. So AZR Leon will assume the lead of the Russian Grand Prix. Where do Medium Pilot and Rafa rejoin? In front of Michael? Behind Michael? Where is this pit stop gonna take him? Where is this strategy gonna take him? Ultra Soft on both of them, by the way. Medium Pilot and Rafa switching on to the purple walled tire. And Marquez is in front of all of them. And even Michael will be able to pass them. Indeed. There we see Medium Pilot coming out of the pits. And there's Rafa behind Shadow and just in front of Technique Gaming. That's going to be a fight here. But Technique Gaming not close enough to make the pass just yet. But Rafa has no DRS help in front of him. 2.6 seconds the gap to Shadow. So he will not be able to pick up any DRS anytime soon. Technique, on the other hand, only 3/10 behind Rafa. So he's going to have a huge advantage here. And Rafa, his ERS is looking pretty good. A little better than Technique. Technique might want to save some. But let's skip to the leaders. We have AZR Leon and T1000 Zach. P2 and P3 in the championship, fighting for the lead right now. Not the virtual lead, not the lead after the pit stops, but the lead on track right now. And it is a fight with major championship implications. Not for the win, because obviously Michael took that at the last race in Singapore. Still, by the way, without a win in Asia. We have to mention that once again. And Sochi does not qualify for Asia. We said before, if Azerbaijan does not qualify for Asia, then neither does Sochi. So the next chance Michael will get for a win on the Asian continent is the Japanese Grand Prix, and then he will have one more at Abu Dhabi. As they are still going strong. They will go on these Ultra Softs for about, at least, I would say, 16 laps, if not more. Probably 17, 18, 19. These Ultra Softs are going to have to last a long time. As, Leon takes a very wide line there, but no penalty. Yes, neck and neck. Thank you very much, Bill. Thank you very much. Yeah, neck and neck, not neck by neck. I'm very sorry. We are in lap 11. We're not even at the halfway point of this race, and still we've seen some very, very exciting racing, and we are not done here. Zach is gonna have to get a way to close up on Leon, to close in on him, and maybe make a move. He's within that 1 second window. He has DRS all the time right now, but it's not close enough for a move. 6/10, he will not be able to do that. Now 8/10 almost. So the exit of Zach out of turn 19 was not good enough. And apparently the stream is laggy. I don't know how to fix it. I'm very sorry for any kind of technical issues, but I don't know how to fix it right now, so we're kind of stuck with it. I'm very sorry for the inconvenience, but let's go back to the race at the very least. I hope you can at least hear the audio well. So let me accommodate you a little bit and go into a little bit more radio style kind of casting maybe. As AZ early on now just over half a second, now under half a second because of the DRS that Zach has. AZ early on still in front, but it's getting closer and closer. Tao now picking up a 3-second time penalty. He is currently in 14th position, so that is not as significant. But yeah, once again, I'm very sorry for the inconvenience, for the technical issues. I don't know how to fix it right now. And I have no idea why Michael went for the softs. I do not know. And it does baffle me. And now Zach with the chance here. As we have a yellow in sector 1, maybe he can't even overtake. He has to wait. Now he can. Okay, the yellow was lifted and he does make the pass into turn 2. Zach now taking the lead from AZ early on. They will both have to come into the pits, and look at Marquez. Look at the gap from Marquez to Ollie. Down to 6 seconds. When he came out of the pits, that was 16 seconds. So he chewed away the lead like I have not seen before. VSR Marquez has some serious speed on those Ultra Softs, and they are 6 laps fresher than they are for the top 5 right now. However, still, gaining 10 seconds in 6 laps is astonishing. And VSR Marquez showing that maybe this will be the race where he gets his first win of the season. He got a 2nd place in Spain, but he never got a win this season. He could be the 7th winner. After Michael, Puffrise, Alper, T1000 Zach, Lakitu, and Leon, he could be the next one. As the front runner is still saying, "Oh, that was a very wide line from Leon there. I don't know about that one." As there's some front wing on the start-finish straight. Thankfully not on the racing line. But you've seen the debris there. That was wild. As there is, oh my, there is Kalek in the middle of the start-finish straight. Thankfully ghosted so everyone else can go through him, but my goodness, what happened there, Kalek? Oh, and there's a spin. Leon spins out. Lap 14, Leon loses at least 4 positions. Here comes Marquez to overtake him as well. 5 positions. Leon down to 6th. And now he's getting into the claws of medium pilot and Michael. And oh, he's got some major damage, it seems. He's got some major damage. Let's see. Let's check that front wing. No, it. Oh, whoa. This is not looking good for AZ Leon. He has to go very slowly here. It doesn't seem like he has front wing damage. Does he have? Maybe he has some issue with his controls because the end plates are still on. The car still looks fine. My guess is that he has some issues with his controls right now. He's dropping to 10th place. He's going to have to come into the pits maybe just to fix it. And that opens up the door for Zach, who also went down to 3rd place, by the way. He comes into the pits, as does Alper. And now Kiski and Ollie are the only 2 drivers who started on the Ultrasofts who are still out there on the Ultrasofts. Let's see. Yeah, Leon does come into the pits. I do not know what happened there. Does he have a puncture, maybe? Maybe he has a puncture. I didn't look for that. No, he retires from the session. Leon out of the Grand Prix. That is dramatic, and that opens the door for Zach. If he is able, he goes onto the softs, weirdly enough, because that was too early for him to go onto the hypers, so he has to go onto the softs. Oh my, and Alper goes onto the hypers. He's gonna attempt that. He's gonna try that, but Kiski and Ollie, they will probably try to take these ultras a little bit longer. Lap 15 is what we see right now. Probably, I would say 17, 18. But yeah, guys, I don't know how to fix the issue of lag of the stream. I wish I could, but I have no idea how to fix it right now. Nothing to do really. I'm not downloading anything, or I don't know. I'm clueless. So for any inconvenience, I'm very, very sorry. But we will just go on and try to do this as best as possible. However, we will be back next week, definitely, for the Japanese Grand Prix. So you can definitely tune in. Hopefully then it will be fixed. But we will stay here now, lap 16. Kiski and Ollie still stayed out. So they will go at least another lap on the Ultras. Marquez and Medium Pilot now fighting for the virtual lead. And they're making it close, but Marquez still staying in the lead. Oh, here's the attempt from Medium Pilot, and he goes down the inside, and he has the move done as Zach picks up a 3-second penalty. Not what you want. And Medium Pilot, what a move into turn 6. Well done, and he takes the virtual lead on track right now. So Medium Pilot leading the way, but look at this. Michael still in reach. Still in reach. On these soft tires. I don't know why he chose to go onto the soft here, but maybe he didn't feel good about taking the ultras for that long. Maybe he thought, 17, 18 laps is a bit too long. I do not know. You're gonna have to ask him after the race. Meanwhile, Kiski and Ollie now into the pits, so they will go on, probably now onto the hypers, both of them. And that is accurate. Both of them now on the hypers. Kiski will rejoin first, but he will rejoin all the way down in, oh my, 10th. Tao comes through. Ollie... Zach comes through. Sorry, Zach comes through. So down in 12th position. That is all the way down. And now Medium Pilot has assumed the lead, and Marquez is dropping off significantly. And that is the difference, probably between 7 laps and 10 laps. Old Ultrasofts right there. Medium Pilot just showing his pace here in incredible fashion. Hard to say that. Try saying that 3 times. So, Medium Pilot now in the lead in front of Marquez, and he already has a sizable gap. Then we've got the 2 Ferraris right behind Michael and Rafa. Probably looking to wrap up that Constructors title. They will not be able to do so today, but they could get some serious points, as Leon has... wait, no, Leon has retired a long time ago. What was that? Oh, someone has left the session. Okay. I was confused for a second there, but yeah, someone has left the session. That's all that happened. I think here's the attempt from Michael down the inside, and they're going wheel to wheel. Who's got the position? I think, yep, Michael has it. Round the outside of turn 3 and 4. Michael into second place. Securing another 3, or, well, not securing, but right now fighting for another 3 points for Ferrari. And Ferrari, it looks like, will get a significant gain on Mercedes. The lead right now in the championship of Ferrari over Mercedes is 97 points. And Leon is already out of the race, so no points for him. And Lakitu is down to P5, so he will only get, if he stays there, he will only get 10 points. Whereas Michael and Rafa will get 30 if they stay where they are. So another 20-point gain if it stays the way it is. But Michael probably has other ideas. Medium Pilot in the lead. That's something he doesn't want to see. He wants to win this race on his own. Medium Pilot this season also has not won a race. He would be the 7th different winner of a race in the ERL F1 Season 5. He has gotten 3 podiums, 2 second places and a third. The seconds at Australia and Germany, and the third at Hungary. So 2 of them very, very recently. But he never got a win this season. Maybe this is the time for him. He does have a 2.6 second lead. But he will have to hold on to it. Will he be able to do so? Right now, it's not coming down, but Michael has one ace up his sleeve. And that's his tire choice. The softs, towards the end, will get better because they wear slower. The ultra softs will probably see some kind of a cliff they fall off. And the softs will stay rather stable. So Michael is probably trying right now to just keep the gap at what it is. And maybe hope it will come down in the closing laps of this Grand Prix. We will go into the last 8 laps of this race. Medium Pilot still in the lead. 8 more laps to go. 2.5 seconds the gap as Michael crossed the line. Will it come down or will it stay where it is? I mean, logically, it has to come down at some point. But is it early enough for Michael to make a move on Medium Pilot and a move for the race win? As Matt makes another pit stop. I think at this point he might be shooting for some hot laps, for the fastest lap of the race, maybe. He will go on to... Oh, he will go on to the Ultra Soft, not the Hyper Soft, the Ultra Soft. Okay. That is surprising, I would say. Because the Ultra Soft, the Hyper Soft would definitely last 8 laps. That is rather certain. Our Shadow picks up a penalty. Penalties right now have been very low, interestingly. So let's look through them. Medium Pilot has 1. Michael served a stop and go, apparently. And also has a penalty and another 2 warnings. Medium Pilot has a penalty and 2 warnings as well. Marquez, 2 warnings, no penalty. Rafa, 2 penalties, 2 warnings, so he is in danger of getting a third. Lakitu, 2 penalties, 1 warning. Alper, 2 penalties. Why does it say 3 seconds there? I think he got 3 penalties now. Because it says 3 seconds there once. So 3 penalties and 2 warnings. ILR Shadow, 3 penalties. Oh my. That was quick. Kiski, 2 penalties and a warning. So everyone is blessed with at least 1 penalty. That is, yeah, basically as I promised, no one will be able to keep it clean here. As the Sochi Autodrome, as much as Monza is the cathedral of speed, the Sochi Autodrome is the cathedral of penalties. You can pretty much extend almost every corner, almost cut every corner. We've seen it in qualifying with Michael. You can cut it by a significant margin if you want to. But even in the race, when you're trying to maximize the track width, you might maximize it a little too much. But Michael closing in. Look at this, 1.8. The gap is coming down. Michael might have a run here in the last couple of laps. He will not have many opportunities, but he will have some. 6 more laps to go. We are in the final stages of this race, and Michael closing in lap by lap on medium pilot. 1.7 seconds now the gap, and it is coming down. Look at Michael go. He does not make a good job of ERS management though. His ERS is very low. A medium pilot, look at this. He's got loads to defend. He's got loads to defend with. Look at this. Over 75% of ERS right now. Michael's down to just over 10. Now under 10. Well, he just regained a little, but it's under 20 at least. And he's saving now. He's saving now, and he's not losing time. As he does pick up another 3-second penalty. So Michael, I think now with 6 seconds. Let's see. Medium pilot has 3 seconds. Michael, 6 seconds. Rafa, 6 seconds. Marquez, 0. Marquez, astonishing. If he can stay close with everyone else and stay penalty free, he might have a shot at winning this. But he needs to, I would say he needs to close in on Rafa and well, he needs to close in on medium pilot right now. But he's losing time, it seems, so it's gonna be tough. 5 more laps to go. Michael still staying at the 1.7. But he's not retaining a lot of ERS. He's still using a lot here on the start-finish straight. Not switching down. Now he's switching down to medium, which is a little bit late, I would say. You want to get that good traction, a good acceleration out of the corner, but then you can switch it down very early and not lose too much time. But he's now within 1.3 seconds, so gaining and gaining and gaining. This is what the softs do now compared to the ultras. The softs are at the point where they outperform the ultras of medium pilot. 14 lap softs against 13 lap old ultras. This is gonna come down to the wire, I reckon. Matt picks up another penalty. He is in 15th. That does not matter too much. Michael's still staying within that 1.4, so he has gained 3/10, 4/10 almost over the course of that lap so far, but he needs to gain a little more. He needs to overtake and get 3 seconds, or get medium pilot to make another mistake and get another penalty, which would even the both of them out. They would have both 6-second penalties. But right now, medium pilot only has 3 seconds, so medium pilot could even afford Michael to overtake him and still stay within 3 seconds and win the Grand Prix. So medium pilot can play this very smart if he knows about this. If he doesn't, that's gonna be a bit of trouble for him. And he might overpush it, might get another penalty, which should be his #1 priority right now. No more penalties. No more warnings, no more corner cutting, no more track extensions. 4 laps to go. Less than 4 laps to go. Michael going a little bit wide again. I don't think that was a warning. Maybe it was, but Michael can afford it, actually. He can afford 2 warnings without getting another penalty. And he is within that 1 second window now. He is close, but medium pilot, look at the ERS. He's got, again, loads to defend with. Michael doesn't have loads to attack with. He will get closer and closer now. 6/10. You see it come down. 5/10. 4/10. 4/10. So he gained 2/10 just on this one straight because of the DRS. But he loses a little bit again in that corner, in that little chicane, in that section. Three laps as soon as they cross the line. Will we see a 7th race winner this season? Or will we see race win number 11 in 16 races for Michael? He's not close enough into turn 2. Cannot make the move yet, but my goodness is he close. And I don't understand why he's not going into no ERS, but he overtakes him into turn 5. What a dive bomb! And what a move! And Michael gets the lead for now, but he has to defend it now, and he doesn't have much ERS. So he needs to watch out and save it as much as he can to defend against the DRS. This is what medium pilot did so well. Yeah, let him go. He's got the ERS now. He can go into overtake here, DRS, overtake, slipstream, all the good stuff. But he's too far away right now. However, again, he just needs to stay within that 3-second gap. So even if he does not overtake Michael on track, he just needs to stay within 3 seconds of Michael, and he wins. As long as he doesn't get another penalty. Let's check once again to make sure. Medium pilot, penalty, 2 warnings, not a single warning allowed. Michael, 2 penalties and 2 warnings. He picked up those 2 warnings, so no more warnings for Michael either, and he needs to build a 3-second gap. 2 laps to go. He needs to gain over 1.2 seconds per lap. Kiski picks up a 3-second penalty. That is not significant. Kiski in 7th right now. Very good result in his first race. I have to say that is very, very reassuring for him. His first race, and he can already mix it up and fight, be competitive with a lot of the drivers here. But this is where it's at. Michael versus medium pilot. Medium pilot still within 6/10. He is not letting go of Michael. He's like a dog who's bitten into Michael's leg, and he's not letting go. He is not letting go. Not a good exit, though. Not a good exit out of that turn. Out of turn 11. And he needs to regain something with the DRS. He does not regain a lot, so he's in a bit of trouble here. But again, 3 seconds. That is a long margin. That is a big margin. He can even afford to fall out of the DRS window and still have a 2-second margin to lose. As he comes across the line, we're talking about 1.2. So he can afford to lose 1.7, and he would be fine. Dutch Tricks retires from the race. Our 6th retirement, but we will most likely finish with 14 drivers. And we are looking at that gap, 1.3. Michael needs to make something work here. Medium pilot made a mistake apparently. 2.3. Medium pilot made a big mistake. He just lost a second. My goodness, Michael has a chance We didn't even catch that. I assume it was in turn 3 and 4. He made a big mistake. It's very easy to lose the back end at the exit of turn 4. And it seems like Medium Pilot has just done that, lost himself a second. He needs to stay and maybe reel Michael back in just a little bit. Or at the very least not make another mistake. 2.2 now, 8 tenths. Michael will take the victory on track, but is it going to be enough? Or is Medium Pilot going to pick it up on penalties? He's got this chicane to come where it is possible to cut the corner. He does not do so. Oh, you can see the back end sliding around a little. Matt picking up a penalty. Does not matter. 2.5. Michael would have to gain half a second in the last 2 corners, and he does not. And Medium Pilot just wins as Michael, I think, picked up another penalty. Oh no, it's the stop and go. It's the stop and go. The 5-second stop and go. I think that will be removed as Medium Pilot takes the win, though. We have our 7th winner of an ERL race this season, Medium Pilot, in front of Michael by 0.378 seconds. I guess I don't know where the stop and go came from for Michael, but I assume, let's see, I assume it was from the pit stop. Yes, pit entry. The question is, though, was he too fast? Or did he just overshoot the pit entry? If he overshot the pit entry, he will get that penalty removed. If he was too fast on the line, we can see that. Hold on, we can see that. Let's find that out. Okay, we cannot see that. At least not for now. But 2nd place for Michael, and we've got a new winner this season after 3 podiums. Medium Pilot is not medium anymore. He is on the top step of the podium and takes the victory here at the Russian Grand Prix. In front of 2 Ferraris, by the way. Michael in 2nd, Rafa in 3rd. So 33 points for the Ferrari squad. Mercedes will be left with whatever Lakitu got, which is, I think, 5th probably. Maybe he got into 4th. But what a fight this was between Medium Pilot and Michael. And I would have to give it to Medium Pilot, who won this race ultimately. But let's look into the race director once again. Incidents. And it was speeding in the pit lane, so Michael will not get that reverse. So it is, in fact, Medium Pilot who wins by over 5 seconds over Michael. Then Rafa Marquez in 4th, Lakitu in 5th, Alper 6th, Kiski 7 in his first race, Oli P8, Tau P9, and Islar Shadow gets the final spot on the podium. Gets the final spot in the points, sorry. Gets the final spot in the points. Congratulations, everyone. Technique Gaming, Revert, Matt, Zach, all out of the points. So Zach was not able to capitalize on the mistake from Leon, who did not finish the race. So Lakitu is the big winner in the fight for 2nd place as he gets 10 points. He moves up into 3rd, overtakes Zach, has 109 points now, and is only 24 points behind Leon. So Lakitu makes this a 3-way fight. Matt did not get any points. Cliffy did not get any points. Kalik, Janul did not get any points. Medium Pilot with 25 moves up to 98. He's only 7 points behind Zach now. He makes it a 4-way race. That's incredible. With 1 victory, Medium Pilot moves up and now is in 5th position in the standings with his first victory. But that has been the Russian Grand Prix. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We will be back next week for the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. And maybe Michael's first win on the Asian continent in ERL Season 5. Stay tuned for that. As always, same time. Saturday, 5 p.m. UK time. My name is Austin Smith. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the European Racing League here on YouTube. I'll see you next week, and goodbye.